Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and you guys asked for it again. I am at the flower fields in Carlsbad, and yes, I got a good one for you today. But a lot to cover. Please don't forget to hit the like button. This is just a stunning place. If you've ever driven to San Diego County off the 5 freeway, this is just a beautiful spot for about 8 weeks a year. And they let you walk through this place, which is nice. So hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And today we have a sponsor, Chuck Norris, and I will talk about him later. But let's get right into it. One thing that keeps getting sent to me is that people are talking about graduation and college students that cannot find employment and are worried about that this year. Guess what, guys? It's going to be the worst job market in our lifetimes as of June 2024. So you're going to see more and more people that will not be able to get a job, and you're going to see more and more people that cannot find a job as they're older. In other words, people like me, I'm ancient. You don't want to hire a guy like me. God knows I may break a hip just getting out of my car. So this place is fun. It's got, like the tractor, you can take the tour around this place, but it's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. So we're being told that the economy is great, the job market's good, but anybody who's gone out there and tried to find respectable full-time employment can't do it. And it's a real problem. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And good old Jamie Dimon, I'm telling you, this guy's running for president. Maybe sooner than we think, but he's just talking about, how he feels for everybody, and he feels for the little guy right now. Okay, well, one thing that he understands is he understands how the lowest people in the lowest economic level feel right now, because they just haven't been able to get ahead in the last 20 years. How about the fact that they've paid too much for banking and paid too much for cost on loans and things like that? Does that have anything to do with it, Mr. Diamond? Okay, so he feels for everybody. He had PTSD after he had his heart surgery, and he feels for us. Again, all the articles are below. You can read all this stuff. But man of the people, this is ridiculous right now, guys, because things are not good. The personal consumption expenditure came in at 2.8%. It was up 0.3% on an inflationary number. Number one, I don't even believe that. I believe that inflation's much higher. I bought gas today and paid $6 a gallon for gas to come down here to get regular gas. So you're seeing this more and more and more. But what's happening is that companies are trying to work with less people. Great article below. One man is a custodian who cannot get a job cleaning buildings. He was a custodian. He was a managerial position for a custodial company, so he would handle people, scheduling, cleaning, making sure everything was done, handling, making sure that everything was handled inside the building, and cannot get a job to save his life. Then you have a pharmacist who couldn't get a job, and the pharmacist is experiencing the same thing that the custodian's experiencing, that you don't need a pharmacist? Okay, come on, guys. Well, maybe there's just too many pharmacists out there. Okay, maybe that's the thing. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys, because what you're seeing is a job market that reflects how the economy is right now. And businesses are not good right now. You have a restaurant group in Washington, D.C., and what they do is they get together, talk about buying, talk about customers, talk about incentives. Hey, what worked for you? Oh, let me show you what worked for me. We had this coupon that worked. We had that. 52 of those restaurants in this group in the Washington, D.C. area went out of business in 2023. And you haven't seen anything yet, guys. You haven't seen anything yet. They have these walkways up here where they do these cutouts like this, and you can walk up here and get your picture within, the flowers. That's why you see so many people do wedding photos and things like that up here. But it's just very, very beautiful. Look at that. It just goes on for acres and acres and acres. It's really cool. So, share your thoughts on this, but you're seeing more and more restaurants go out of business. You're seeing more and more restaurants that are charging an arm and a leg, one taco $6. You're seeing crazy things like that that we've never seen in our lifetime. But it gets to a point, why would you even go out? I've done this commitment where I spend less money going out to dinner than I have. And when you just look at April alone, which April's not even near done, I've saved myself a fortune this month as a single man. And it's like days like today, I packed a lunch coming up here today, so I don't have to spend, $25 to get fast food someplace. So let me know what you think about this so far. What do you think about Jamie Dimon, man of the people, talking about how he feels for the lowest echelon of the economy? And, these people they've been victimized. They've had it really tough with everything. Just feel like they can't get ahead. No kidding. None of us can get ahead right now. You haven't seen anything yet. So let me know what you think about this so far. Let's talk about our sponsor, Chuck Norris. Think about this. Chuck has been in the entertainment industry for decades now, and he has maintained his health and maintained his physique through his stringent exercise programs. But one thing that he found out as he got older was that it became more and more difficult. But he found 3 things that helped him maintain his strength, have the ability to work out longer, and just have more stamina and be able to sleep better, feel better all the way around. If you go to chuckdefense.com/Dan, you can see the 3 things that he made as a difference that completely changed his health. His stamina better, his health better, sleeping better, everything. Take a look at it today, but it's the 3 things that have made a difference. The easiest place to get there is just use the link below in the video description. chuckdefense.com/Dan. But look at the 3 things that really changed his health and revolutionized what made a difference for Chuck Norris. Check it out today. We're seeing the Port of Baltimore just got reopened finally, and they're letting commercial traffic go through there. Great. Okay, it's about time. Kind of little fanfare to do that. The next thing is City of New York. They're going to have their congestion tax go into effect on June 30th. And this is going to cost $15 per vehicle just as a tax for congestion. Okay? What a scam. What an absolute scam that we're being fed. So again, taxes are going to go up. You're going to have car rides go up, trucks, deliveries, everything. It's going to affect every single one of us if you have anything to do with New York City at all. Now, the next thing is Allstate. Allstate has been out of California insurance for 1 year now, okay? And now they have this thing called a catastrophe model. So as Allstate gets their catastrophe model set up, they will now be able to rewrite policies again. But you have to listen, you have to be part of this consensus of like where you live, and basically you're going to have to understand that you may live in a floodplain, you may live in an earthquake zone, which California is an earthquake zone, fire zone, whatever, and you need to accept this. I am telling you, they're going to write policies, mark my words, and you're going to have relatives that they're going to have insurance, they're going to pay through the nose for it, and then what's going to happen is they're going to go out and have a claim and say, well, wait a second, your catastrophe clause didn't really cover for earthquake and for fire. You know what I mean? It's going to be stuff like that that's going to be a complete sham and completely made up that people aren't going to be able to afford. So once again, every single person that has got their insurance lately has told me how it's gone through the roof. Nobody has talked about it being reasonable. Nobody has talked about it being remotely fair. The other thing is property taxes. I have not seen anybody that has not been victimized by property taxes lately around the country, where they're just getting clobbered by these prices. Look at this. That's just crazy beautiful. Isn't that nuts? Again, here's another business model for you. This place, 23 bucks a ticket. They get thousands of people a day out here. Let's just say they get 1,000. We'll just do it that way. They get $23,000 a day to have people walk through the flowers that they go cut and sell at the nursery right next door. So there's that. But they also stagger you buying a ticket. Like my window was for 1 hour. That was it. It couldn't come up here, 3 hours later. If you're not up here during your window, you lose your ticket. End of story. So, what do you think? Just beautiful though, guys. Absolutely stunning. I'm in San Diego County. This is the same county where the pier caught on fire yesterday, the Oceanside Pier, which I filmed at a few times up there. It's got the Top Gun house that's right there. But it is really, an archaic pier. And it was built in the 90s, but it's made out of wood, guys. I mean, it is literally like, don't hold your phone in your hand, because if you drop it, the slits are so wide that it'll, you can lose your phone and just drop it like that. Just absolutely amazing. So, a few other things that are worth covering. So I can't get close to the pier. Okay, I've already tried and see if they'd let me down there, but they're keeping everybody away from it. So the number of home buyers right now that have to get into a house that are taking an adjustable loan is going up. It's at almost 10% right now of all the loans that are written. And the problem with that is that you're getting these people that shouldn't be buying a house. 98% of the people that purchase homes right now are what they call that finance the homes, not the cash buyers. Don't throw that at my face. 98% of the people that buy a home finance-wise buy all the home that they can. In other words, they tap themselves out and say, this is what we can afford, and don't bank on anything that can go wrong. Well, the problem with it is, I got a question for you. What if the Fed actually raised interest rates? What would you do? What would happen? What would that do to real estate? What would that do to the economy? Now remember, we're being told that the economy is just at a, going at a record pace and everything's great, but it's not right now. And you know that. And all these people that are, in the real estate market that are just banking for it to go down. That's all I hear about is, oh, wait, you're going to see, Dan, you're going to see this thing drop. Isn't that cool? Well, it's just beautiful. But here's the top of the hill up here. It's just very peaceful. But, fundraising, different ways to get people out and about. I'm telling you, the one thing I used to love about events was, what can we do to get a group of people there? How can we charge them? And how can we make it worth their while? And this place has just been incredible. I mean, all of my nieces, family members, friends' kids have wedding photos up here and taking pictures up here. And they have these little cutouts like these two women are doing right there, where they're just hanging out and getting their picture taken. And it just looks like a sea of flowers. But what are you going to do, guys? Seriously. Nobody wants to sit down and cut back. People don't want to buy less things. People want to go out on vacation when they can't. But you're starting to see people that are cutting trips from 10 days down to 7 days. You're seeing hotels that, normally don't have to offer incentives, that sure are offering incentives right now. So let me know what you think about this, guys, because we haven't seen anything yet. But again, the riskier loans, why would you take, you're going to save 1% or 2% on taking the adjustable loan right now, but it's going to get to a reality, and nobody wants to look at that, because what if interest rates have to go up? What if Jerome Powell lies to all of us, and which all they've done is lie to us and told us how great the economy is, but you pay for things. You buy milk, you buy food, you buy meat, you buy auto parts, you buy oil, you buy gas. I had a mechanic work on one of my cars that said, I want to apologize to you up front before I give you the bill. What do you mean you apologize? You know, these things are up 40%, Dan, okay? And I'm like, well, I'm not going to use the guy's name. It's a unique name. But I trust the guy. And so I'll give you you can see what I paid for everything. And again, I said, do you get grief from everybody? Every day, Dan. All they do is tell me what a liar and a thief I am. And the guy's the most honest guy I know who's worked on my cars. So, but that's what you're seeing. And a friend of mine went to get her oil changed today. And hey, we'll have we have this thing where you come in, you get your oil change done in 30 minutes or less at the dealership. She goes in today, she goes, yeah, we stopped doing that. We're going to put a cover over that sign because we have such less staff. It's 2 hours to get your oil changed now. So just ridiculous, guys. People aren't hiring. People aren't working the way that they did before. Again, my son, the college student, he'll work 3 jobs right now as a waiter, as a food server. He'll work doing that because he can, okay? And because, hey, we'll give you 12 hours. Okay, thank you. Where you and I would starve if they gave us 12 hours a week to have a job. And the idea of having 3 or 4 jobs seems insane. So let me know, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Did you know that the 1968 song Moni Moni was after Mutual of New York? Moni Moni. Anyways, that song. Anyways, that building originally sold for $605 million. It just sold this week for $185 million. A nice haircut. So again, how do you lose $400 million on a purchase and have that be okay? You don't, guys, you don't. And you want to sit down, and people want to sit there and talk about how commercial real estate's going to be okay. It's not going to be the debacle everybody thinks it is. It is. It's going to be the total debacle. And then you throw, New York City, the crime fest, 2024 in New York City. It is a disaster. You have cities like San Francisco, cities like Los Angeles that are an absolute joke because of the fact that it is just crime wave after crime wave after crime wave. And they don't care about the citizenry, So let me know what you think about this. But you can't get people to rent a building. You can't get employees there. And again, we talked about this. This is a silent depression that we're in right now, guys. And you have to look at ways to get by and make money and sell things right now. I am telling you this right now. This is probably the last time you're going to be able to do this through summer, is sell the extra stuff. The extra car that you don't need, unload it. The extra tools, that extra set of golf clubs that just gather dust, the kids' old sporting goods equipment, unload it, guys, right now while you can, because you're going to get to a point that people will not have the money to purchase things like this. Mark my words on this, okay? So let me know what you think about this so far. How much of a subsidy does the electric vehicle industry get from the feds every year? You and I, that is. How about $9.3 billion? Hello, 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 hello. Now, they anticipate here in California that it's going to cost Californians $30 billion, okay, to get rid of electric vehicles here in California. Okay, add that up. Let me carry the 1. Okay, what are you going to pay? You know what I mean? Because they're going to make these cars illegal by 2035. Here before you know it, guys. Okay? Administrations come, they go, but then they come back again to Kookaburraville. Okay? So you can't have it to where everybody gets something for free because it's not working. Look at Hertz, the auto rental company. Okay? Hertz went out and they were going to order over 100,000 electric vehicles. How'd that work out? Service, breakdowns, minimal accidents that caused a complete total of a vehicle, okay? They have gotten rid of 30,000 cars. You want to buy a cheap EV? You look at the Hertz used sales right now, and you can get yourself a smoking deal right now on one of those cars. Again, you know, that's the way it is right now. And, you know, I have a friend of mine who was arguing with his friends about how great it is. And he's like, hey, Dan, what's that figure? Ford lost $132,000 a vehicle, okay? Okay, well, if you're subsidized by $9 billion, and yeah, they only get a percentage of that, it's insane, guys. Absolutely insane. Remember last year or 2 years ago, California was hailed for having UDAs, where you could have these, you know, ADUs, UDAs, ADUs, accessory dwelling units, on your property. You could basically have your house and then be able to put a second or even third unit in some cities in your backyard. You have to worry about environmental impact reports, pesky parking rules, anything like that. They just could get approved. Well, a judge in Los Angeles County yesterday just approved that this is unconstitutional and they don't have to enforce this. So in fact, unconstitutional. These people are not getting building permits for this anytime soon. So share your thoughts on that one. But again, people have gone out and built these units time and again in the last 2 years, thinking that they're just going to sell them out, rent them out, Airbnbs, and I don't think it's going to work out anytime soon. So let me know your thoughts. This thing goes on for acres and acres and acres. See that? It's just very, very cool. Walk through this. Just a beautiful spot up here. I'm going to finish this video with these last few stories. One of my favorite things in the whole world, coffee, is about to go through the roof again because Robusta beans, which are grown, the majority of them, over a third in Vietnam, had a bad harvest this year, and you're going to see the prices go through the roof right now. So instant coffee, espresso, it all is affected by this. So you're going to see the prices absolutely go up astronomically. Berta Sklansky lives in Culver City, California. She was the victim of theft. Her caregiver that watches over her, cares for her, came in and found her checkbook and started writing checks. Wells Fargo said, sorry about that. We can't do anything about it because you didn't find out about the theft for over 30 days. So they're going to let this thief get away with this. I am telling you this, guys. If you know of anybody that has a caregiver, watch these people, because these people go and take advantage of these poor people that they are supposed to be watching, and the family members are like, everything's great. Okay? So again, there's a place in hell for that person that stole from a 93-year-old woman. And again, you know, the bank's not going to do anything about it, but read the story from CBS News in Los Angeles below. Final story is tipflation. Are you sick of tipflation? And what this is that you're being forced to give somebody a tip when you generally wouldn't, okay? And they anticipate that it's costing the average person $500 a year, that you paid $500 more eating out last year, tipping people that you generally wouldn't tip, okay? So I, for one, it's one thing to give good service. It's one thing that, you know, people, oh, it's Dan, you know, they recognize me, so sometimes they have to do it. But where do you draw the line? Okay, $500 a year. If you thought about that, that's a lot of money every year. So are you cutting back on the tipping, the needless tipping? Let me know, okay? Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm glad I could come up here for you guys, okay? Man, hello. Isn't this just insane how beautiful this is? Again, I should just sit there. It should be my backdrop every day, okay? Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You want to get a hold of me, hello at iAllegedly. We just had an email go out. Check your spam filter and make sure you're part of the email list. You do not want to miss out on that.